hear the music. Hello, everybody. I'm Matt Robinson, and welcome to another exciting edition of the League Wraparound. This is the program that gets you caught up on anything and everything happening around the NFL. I want to recap scores from the most important games from Week 3 in the NFL. Thursday Night Football saw the New England Patriots take on the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers handled his business in this game. Jets would win 24-3. The Houston Texans took on the Minnesota Vikings. It was all Vikings. Minnesota would win 34-7. A thrilling game in New Orleans between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. The Eagles hold on to win thanks to Saquon Barkley getting a touchdown and a 2-point conversion late in the game. Eagles win 15-12. Also, we had the Detroit Lions take on the Arizona Cardinals. Close game down in the desert. Detroit would win 20-13. The Baltimore Ravens squared off against the Dallas Cowboys. Baltimore would win by 3, 28-25. Sunday Night Football saw the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Atlanta Falcons. Chiefs would win 22-17. Monday Night Football, the doubleheader. First game was the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Buffalo Bills. It was all Bills. They would win 47-10. And the second game of the doubleheader was a thrilling one between the Washington Commanders and the Cincinnati Bengals. Two Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks from LSU, Joe Burrow going up against Jaden Daniels. It was a night for Jaden Daniels. Jaden, alongside Terry McLaurin and company, would help the Commanders beat the Bengals. Final score, 38-33. And those were your scores from Week 3's most important games in the NFL. Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre recently went to Washington, D.C., where he testified at a congressional hearing. He recently revealed to congressmen and lawmakers that he has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And he believes that he attributes his diagnosis of Parkinson's disease to CTE. Of course, there's been research for about a decade and a half about CTE, and it's linked to concussions, brain trauma. And Brett also lamented to politicians at the congressional hearing that he doesn't know how much time he's going to have left with his recent diagnosis of Parkinson's disease. And Brett Favre, as far as in the last 3 to 5 years, he's been in the news and has made headlines for all of the wrong reasons. Of course, most recently with the whole scandal with being involved in taking money from the poor and vulnerable in his home state of Mississippi, with the whole Mississippi Welfare Fund scandal, particularly with TANF, which is the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. His legacy the last 3 to 5 years has taken a beating, and he hasn't been doing well. But as far as the football is concerned, listen, I get it with the whole dipping his toe in and out of retirement and playing those type of games, but as far as concerned, Brett was a gunslinger. Brett, let's just call it for what it is, not refined in terms of football skills, but a passion for the game. Won a Super Bowl, played in 2 Super Bowls, won 1 and lost 1. However, setting records in every passing category, from yards, touchdowns, so on and so forth. So many classic memories. I know a Brett Favre game that comes to my mind was the Monday Night Football game against the Raiders when they were playing in Oakland, and that was the game that was in tribute to his father because his dad had passed away several days before that Monday Night Football game, and he just went off. He went off in a great way and was able to pull off a stunning performance. A 3-time league MVP, as I mentioned earlier, winning a Super Bowl. And, football-wise, Brett Favre, Hall of Famer, what could you say about him? had you on the edge of your seat for making all of the right plays and unfortunately all of the wrong plays, but great seasons with the Green Bay Packers. The 1 year with the New York Jets, not good, not great, but it was decent. And then his first year with the Minnesota Vikings was certainly outstanding, playing alongside Adrian Peterson and also Sidney Rice and Vasante Shenko, just to name a few. But Brett Favre, again, made the announcement this week during a congressional hearing that he is suffering from Parkinson's disease, which he believes is related to him suffering concussions and the possibility of having CTE. All right, that takes care of that. Now it's time to preview Week 4's most important games. Monday Night Football doubleheader. First game, the Tennessee Titans versus the Miami Dolphins. So for Miami, they have their growing pains right now. No Tua Tagovailoa. He's on injured reserve due to a concussion. Skylar Thompson. If you watch that game, they didn't play well. They were manhandled by the Seattle Seahawks. But the Dolphins signed Tyler Huntley. It appears that as though Tyler Huntley is going to be ready to play in this Monday night matchup. If not, they've got Skylar Thompson ready to go. But they're going to be going up against the Tennessee Titans. So the Titans, they're looking for retribution as well. Having some growing pains right now so far. They're 0-3 this year. Will Levis, for the moment, is the starting quarterback. And both organizations, they're having growing pains right now. Both young, both trying to find their way. And one thing is for sure, knock on wood, this could be a game where Tyreek Hill, if everything goes well for him, he could change the game in a lot of different ways for the Miami Dolphins. This should be a low-scoring affair, but I think it'll come down to defense in this one between the Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins. And the other game in the doubleheader, we have the Seattle Seahawks going up against the Detroit Lions. First for the Lions, big win over the Arizona Cardinals. Jared Goff, he made plays when necessary, especially in the final minutes of that contest. Amon-Ra St. Brown doing what Amon-Ra does best. Make tough catches and get touchdowns. As for the Seattle Seahawks, Seattle's one of the hottest teams in the league right now. Seattle, running game and defense have been on point. The running game, as far as the running game is concerned, Kenneth Walker has missed a couple of games. Zach Charbonnet has come in and has really played nicely in the place of Kenneth Walker. Geno Smith, you don't have to ask too much of him. Solid, dependable, and efficient. Finding Tyler Lockett and, of course, finding DK Metcalf on big plays. Seattle and Detroit, I think this is going to be a great on Monday night. Now it's time for my game of the week. My game of the week is going to be the Seattle Seahawks versus the Detroit Lions. Last season was remarkable for the Detroit Lions. Nobody expected Detroit, including me, to play this well. Jared Goff, him and Dan Campbell, they were still trying to figure things out, and they figured it out. They figured it out so well that they wound up playing in the NFC Championship game last year, losing a close one to the San Francisco 49ers. But it gave not only them, not just Jared and Coach Campbell, but also Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aiden Hutchinson, David Montgomery and company, something to look forward to in the offseason. And certainly Detroit is one of the favorites, not just in the NFC, but in all of the NFL to go to the big game. So while people have been talking about Detroit and what an amazing season that they had last year and enjoying the momentum coming into this season, the Seattle Seahawks are under the radar right now. But Seattle has done it not the hard way, but they've done it well, you could say they've done it the gritty way. Running game and defense. Geno Smith, people counted him out. Guess what? He's enjoying his second life with the Seattle Seahawks. Head coach Mike Macdonald, was the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. He has come in and has given this team a new life and a new lease on their approach when it comes to games. That approach he had in Baltimore is the approach that he's brought so far to the Pacific Northwest. Seattle and Detroit, it is going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a hard-hitting game. I think we won't see a lot of offense get going till late in the third quarter, especially going into the fourth quarter. I think it's going to come down to which quarterback is going to make the first mistake late in the game. Will it be an interception? Will it be a forced fumble? Will it be a team not converting on a key fourth down? I think this is going to be a great one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. My game of the week. All right, before we get on out of here, I want to give you my picks on who I think will win Week 4's most important games. Monday Night Football doubleheader. The Tennessee Titans squaring off against the Miami Dolphins. I like Tennessee to win. The Seattle Seahawks versus the Detroit Lions. This is going to be a fun game. It's going to be a tight and a very close game down in Motown. But I like the Seattle Seahawks to win. So, again, my picks are Tennessee and Seattle. And that's it. Again, thank you so much for joining me on the program. It's always fun. And until next time, everybody, I'm Matt Robinson saying so long. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Remember to click like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.